Today on the channel, we're raising the first set of beams for the new Sawmill shed. Stick around and join us on the adventure.
Taste the cold iron, feel the break of the bone. Every man reaps the bitter seeds he sown. Yeah, we're reaping what we've sown.
First thing we've got to do here is measure and cut the poles to fit the beams. Obviously with a shed like this, you want to drop the back beams to be shorter than the front beams, so that's what we're doing. In the back of the shed, it'll be about 9 feet tall. On the front side, we're going for about an 11-foot height. And so I'm going to go up there and just like put a line, and you'll be on that side, and we'll see where the...
You're talking about that side there?
That side, yeah, okay. Where the edge would be.
I thought you were talking cross there, and I thought, what?
Marking the beams is pretty easy. We just use a string, a nail, a little bit of patience, and a level. It'll be a little cattywampus, but it'll catch it on the other side. While some of the beams weren't exactly, or the poles weren't exactly level, we were able to work around this a little bit by just getting creative with how we went about cutting each of these poles. Special shout out to my mom and dad who helped me out with this build here. She was kind enough to hold the ladder, but they did a whole lot more than that. They were carrying wood and chaining things up, and really appreciate their help. So the goal here is we're actually trying to drag some of these beams into the location. I cut all these beams on our Sawmill shed on my Wood-Mizer, and they are pretty dang heavy, so the first approach was kind of a failure. We were trying to use a come along and get creative.
You're the come along. Yeah, peace.
And you can see our...
Oh, look at, he can just lift it.
Our other approach is a little more effective, if not a little more archaic, but got the job done. Hey, easy. Woo. After we get the poles in place, we start to mark them out. So we're going with a angled cut here, so the poles will actually sit on top of each other. So I didn't get perfectly straight cuts with the sawmill, but close enough for what we're doing here. And so outside of just getting my chainsaw in the dirt and doling the blade, I'm just cutting out the L's so that the poles can sit on top of each other ahead of time. This way, when I get them up there, I don't have to mess around with it. So for raising these back beams, obviously I went with the loader. The loader worked pretty well for these smaller beams. These are 6x8 solid oaks, so they are darn heavy. This one's 17 foot long. But you'll notice it didn't actually get high enough up, so the fix for this is pretty easy. You just put a block behind it. In this case, I just have a piece of cut-off pole. That gives me an extra foot or so of height to get it in place. On the front side, it's going to be a lot higher, so we're actually going to have to build a crane for that. That'll be in the next video, but this works pretty well if you're lifting at about 9 feet.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the beam got caught up on the log there, so just prying it with a 2x4 was enough to get moving. To actually mount these beams to the poles, we went with these brackets for some of them where it sat pretty flush. Other ones I went with a lag bolt, which obviously the lag bolt's going to hold it really well. But we kind of did a combo. I also used some timber lock screws to both lock them into the pole and come in from the top, so I think that was pretty effective. Obviously that was a little bit of a fail there. I forgot that I had the block in there when I lifted it, but it was no trouble getting into place. At this point, it's starting to really come together. I got that last beam up in place on the pole, and I'm just going to use the cant hook to pull it straight to get it screwed in, but it's pretty much all there. So this is a total 40-foot run, a little bit more with the overhang, and it's 3 beams. I got about a 12-footer, a 17-footer, and another 12-foot on the backside. So at this point, it's starting to come together really nice. My parents told me it looked like Stonehenge, which is probably pretty true. It's probably about as straight as that too. It's a little crooked in parts, but it's actually going to work great for what I'm using it for. I was not ready for how tight this lag bolt was going in. I got a sledgehammer for the next set I'm going to do because holy cow, this was tough.
Oh, that felt good. Oh, I'm done.
Taste the cold